A 16-year-old bubbling girl, when she gets her hands laid on the phone and an internet, she wants to study more. Anyone else can do it. We can do it too. I have a tattoo here which says Aham Brahmasmi, which means that Brahma is inside of me and Brahma is inside of you.
The geopolitical scenarios that's happening, the salary issues.
See, India does not have job shortage.
Okay.
India has job readiness shortage. Everything that is being done by the hand is going to be replaced. Everything that is done by the mind is going to be augmented, and everything that is done by the heart is going to stay. That people start doing a lot of research in.
We cannot actually not discuss this topic at Inside Corporate Cultures because it was one of the national debate last year was about working hours.
You can't keep doing what you're good at. You will always get back to what you really want to do. I think toxicity comes from the leadership. Every single person has to believe in the mission of what drives the corporate. Then don't do it.
Yeah, and then we have got the results. What a leader. I mean, I still remember the hug that he had from the scientist, and that's what he was just waiting for, to hug Narendra Modi ji and just cry it out.
Isn't that what leaders are
Exactly.
for? True leaders will have empathy. When a woman buys a car, it is the family car, it's not her car. You have to follow the rules of chess. You cannot follow the rule of football.
Yeah.
So a game has its rules and you need to learn the rules. You can't say, I don't know how to play chess, and come and play chess. You'll have to learn to play chess.
Yeah. Hello and welcome everyone to yet another episode of Inside Corporate Cultures, where we decode workplaces, leadership and cultures that shape our career. And as you can already see, I look really very excited because today I am sitting with someone whom I adore a lot. And I have been really requesting and wanting her to be on my podcast for a very long time. Yes, our guest today is a BJP leader, Maharashtra State Government Secretary and Spokesperson, ex-advisory to Chief Minister of Maharashtra. She's a mother, fitness freak, entrepreneur, TEDx speaker. She's the one who just doesn't talk about the change, but she's actually built it. From transforming villages to mentoring women, to building policies to empowering youth. Yes, she is the one where right governance meets the people. And she is none other than our very own Shweta Shalini ma'am.
Thank you, Swati ji. And you don't even look excited. You look beautiful. And this color blue is making you look so amazing. I'm sure you don't have the blues. I have the blue.
You do, but you are looking prettier. But yes, ma'am, welcome to Inside Corporate Cultures. And there are a lot of people who talk about youth entrepreneurship, change. But there are few people who get into the system and actually bring the change. And we all know ma'am has actually done it. Ma'am, as you know, I've been following you on all the platforms. I do watch your podcasts, your reels on Instagram, and your interviews. And genuinely speaking, I find you really very charismatic. You're sharp, real, and very calm in nature. And
I think I'm going to really accept the only compliment out of this is real. I am extremely authentic. I am who I am. And I love the fact that people like you appreciate the realness in people, right? You are real. I mean, you're trying to do things which very few women are trying to do. So we are all just good, genuine people who are trying to build or create our impact in our space. So let's start, I think.
Yes, thank you. If by your permission, let us start this episode. So, as I already said, that we see a lot of leaders during debates and interviews, and they talk about a lot of things, and you have actually brought in the ground level transformations. So today, friends, what we are fortunate enough is that today we're going to learn from a leader who has not just talked, but who's brought that change. So we know that we are going to learn from your experiences. So, ma'am, bringing this to a point, I'm really curious to know, ma'am, what made you choose this path as your career in the first place?
I always had the clarity that I need to be driven by my natural calling. I also realized very early in my life that I'm very good with people. I empathize with them, I understand them, I connect to them. Um, my father, very early in my life, told me that the only thing that you earn in life is people. And hence, for me, it was important to do something relating to people. So, when I was an employee, I ensured that the people around me, my bosses, my peers, my subordinates, they all understood, what I was and what I meant to do, right? Slowly and steadily, I became an entrepreneur. And I was again driven by the fact that the needs of the people is very, very critical. For every entrepreneur, it is important to understand what people need and to give them exactly that. That's when an entrepreneur drives value out of it. When I came into public life, I knew that there was more that I could give to people because, as a mother, as a woman, as a wife, uh, as a friend, as as an entrepreneur, I empathized with people and understood their needs. And when you sit on the position of power, you can make a lot of change if you have the right intention. So, the only reason why I jumped into public life was because I intended to make a change. I intended to make a difference. And I think that is what drives me. That is the purpose. I just am here to stay because, as you rightly put it, I am the change.
Right, absolutely. Such a beautiful point to make. And when I was curious to ask this question, from the very first question itself, I've learned a lot from you. And as you mentioned that at a very early age, you had discovered from yourself that you are meant for people and you like people around you. Well, even I discovered that, but that was too late after my corporate life. But that is a wonderful story, and we can actually feel your intention behind this. Perfect way to start, I guess. Ma'am, next question. What's one moment in your work where you felt, okay, this is the real change and that you're genuinely proud of yourself?
See, there are a lot of things that I have driven, a lot of initiatives that I have driven. But I think the adoption of lot of government schemes in the rural areas was something that I was amazingly proud of. Uh, when people got exposed in rural areas, people got exposed, young girls, when they got exposed to digital infrastructure, they were driven by this fact that I want to make a change in my entire household, to my lifestyle, to my parents' lifestyle. And that's what gives you the smile on your face, because when you see that aspiration in a young girl, a 16-year-old bubbling girl, when she gets her hands laid on the phone and an internet, she wants to study more. She wants to get a job where where she can support her parents, right? And that was a change that I saw, the aspirational change at the grassroots level. And I think I have been able to deliver that. I've been able to deliver hope to the grassroots because, when people look at you, they know that if she can do it, I can do it too. And that's why I firmly believed in the word real. Because if there is anything that I want young India, young girls, rural girls, urban girls to believe in, is the fact that if anyone else can do it, we can do it too. But having said that, there is another scheme that I had driven. It was a SAM-MAM program, which was a severely acute malnutrition program, which was focused on 1,000 days after the delivery of mother and child. A lot of companies, a lot of corporates helped me. I would specifically want to thank Reckitt Benckiser because they helped us through this entire first 1,000-day program for mother and child, and it made a lot of difference for at the nutrition level, at the mortality level, and it also helped a lot in understanding the psychology of a new mother. And that's where I feel that if the government or the people sitting at the top have the right kind of intent, a lot can be done. And that's what makes a difference. It is these people who actually drive and make a change in the country.
Wow, that must be so fulfilling, ma'am. And that's why when I mentioned that we have a lot of things to learn from her, I was right. It's just the second question. I've been learning so much from you. And definitely, I would like to add on this point. It's not just what ma'am is saying. I do remember that Instagram reel of yours, because the kind of inclusivity nature that she has, you had put in a reel on Instagram. It's not just you. She had asked for any individual who wants to help you in the rural development. They can come up, they can message you. And I remember I was one of them who actually sent your profile, ma'am. I am here to help you in whatever way in the rural development, free women entrepreneurship programs, anything that support I had. So ma'am also does a lot of inclusivity, is what is her nature. And yeah, that is amazing. That's amazing answer to hear. Ma'am, as a spokesperson and leader, you're always under pressure. So, and as I already told you, your calm nature is something that I can really make out. So, how do you manage to, actually keep that calm nature?
Well, so for all the people that you will ask around me, they will tell you that I'm not calm at all. But having said that, you need to understand, if someone else's views are different from mine, that doesn't mean that he's my enemy. We are in a democracy. You're free to have your own views, you're free to have your own opinions. And I have a tattoo here which says Aham Brahmasmi, which means that Brahma is inside of me and Brahma is inside of you. So the most important thing is for me to respect you as a person, as an individual. I may not agree with your opinion, but that doesn't mean that I will disrespect you. And hence, the biggest and the most important thing to keep my calm is to ensure that I know that I can never, ever lose respect. For the rest, हुई है वही जो राम रचि राखा. Ultimately, what happens is what that one person has decided. So I'm just a medium. I have to do what I have to do. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Which means that what I have in my own hands is the fact that I have to get up in the morning and start working. I have to be the best at what I have on my hands. And for everything that I do, I have to give it my best. For the rest, I'm sure there is someone writing my piece and ensuring कि मेरे संचित कर्म और मेरे चलित कर्म तय करेंगे कि मुझे फल कब और कहाँ मिलेगा. Ultimately, आपको हर चीज़ का रिजल्ट मिलता है. You get results. But when you will get it is not you who's going to decide. It will come to you. Have patience, be consistent, and trust the process.
Wow. I think, ma'am, I mentioned about calm, but what you mentioned is also one of the biggest leadership aspect, right? And whatever ma'am mentioned, we as women, we definitely need to learn this from ma'am, that self-dignity, taking a stand wherever required is equally important. And specifically for women, we need to learn this from ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's been amazing. I don't know, but I'm just loving this podcast. So, ma'am, now let's go back to youth. So, right now, with whatever scenario that's going on, the youth, they're really very confused because of the layoffs, slow hiring, the geopolitical scenarios that's happening, the salary issues. What I know that you're not just someone who is commenting on youth issues. I've seen you actually doing the development, empowerment, entering into the entrepreneurship program. So it'll be great to learn from you that, in your opinion, what is the bigger issue right now? Not having enough jobs for the people, or people not having the right skills?
Well, great question. See, India does not have job shortage.
Okay.
India has job readiness shortage.
Okay.
You cannot ask a chef to dance, and you don't ask a dancer to cook. That is the problem. We need to develop the right skill sets for the right kind of jobs and also match. So, if you actually meet a lot of corporates, and I'm sure you do, they will always tell you that we are hiring. Everybody seems to be hiring, and everybody seems to not get the people for the job. If you also meet a lot of youth, they will tell you that they are looking for jobs, but they don't seem to be getting the right fit for jobs. So, what's most important is to do the matchmaking. But how do you do the matchmaking? Because the job readiness is a huge challenge. Skilling is a huge challenge. I think government has a lot of programs under the Kaushal Vikas scheme, Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and a lot of skilling is being done. But we still need hands-on training. So I always say this, that it is important for the corporates, the academia, and the people to come together as stakeholders to then solve this large lingering problem that India has. And I personally feel that we are just about getting there. People are realizing that it is hands-on skill which is very important. It is on-the-job training which is very, very critical. And we have a lot of government schemes that support that. And now you will see a shift slowly and steadily. You have a lot of skill universities which are coming up, a lot of people who are getting into skill development, a lot of people who are understanding and appreciating the fact that skilling and understanding or hands-on jobs is here to stay. So people are now getting into that sector categorically.
Good. Ma'am, anyway, the new internship aspect that government has brought in, so that is again a very fantastic thing. The gap that you were just mentioning, we're trying to start bridging that gap, and exactly what you mentioned is sometimes even I feel that on-the-job training is the right. I mean, I totally second your thought. The on-the-job training, because we have joined corporates, we've been managers at some positions, and that was the exact problem that we faced. That they have the knowledge, the textbook, the theoretical knowledge, but getting those skills into execution was something that even...
So I want to add on the Apprentice Act that you just mentioned. The Apprentice program or the act that the government has actually promotes corporates to take apprentices.
Okay.
And that is the need of the hour. Internship is something that now, if you actually look at it, the academia has taken internship into their academic patterns.
Right.
And now, third year onwards or second year onwards, students are encouraged to do these internships. Government pays small scale and medium scale industries to take apprentices. The Contract Labor Act has been renewed and relooked multiple times, because now you don't have to really bother about making the contractual labor permanent as a mandatory thing, but that is also optional. So people can come to you, learn the tricks of the trade, do hands-on job training, and then if they are good, they can be retained. And there are promotional schemes, PLI linked schemes for corporates and industries primarily for this. So the government is doing almost everything to ensure that this match happens. What's most important is for the youth to understand that skilling, it is not degrees anymore. it is delivery. So we cannot be stuck to degrees. We have to get to deliveries.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, friends, if you are not aware, many of us are not aware. We have Apprentice Act. We are all the government is already renewing the labor acts. So, a lot of things the government is actually doing to support us. Like back then, when we passed out, we didn't have this. So, all you Gen Zs, Gen Alphas, you all are very fortunate to have it. Make fullest utilization of it. And as ma'am rightly said, concentrate on the delivery. See, you getting what is required by government, what is the private and public sector looking at. Please make fullest utilization of it. Thank you, ma'am. That was wonderful. Ma'am, one thing, if you may help us with the young generation of our country, which sectors do you feel will create the maximum jobs in next 2-3 years?
Well, there was I think, Microsoft survey which spoke about AI at the workplace.
Yeah.
And it listed the top 10 jobs which are going to vanish away in the next decade, and the next 10 jobs which are going to stay. So if you actually read that survey, it said everything that we are doing today, which is coding, developing, software development, and so on and so forth, is going to vanish away. And everything which is like plumbing, woodworking, garages, repairing, auto repairing is going to stay. But having said that, I firmly believe, and I borrow this line from a friend who said that everything that is being done by the hand is going to be replaced. Everything that is done by the mind is going to be augmented, and everything that is done by the heart is going to stay. That is what AI is going to make a difference with, right? So, which means what? People are here to stay. So anything that you do for people, of people, by people is here to stay. Just do it with your own heart. For the rest, I think, because you asked sectors, I firmly believe that apart from AI and AI in different sectors, agri-tech is here to stay and is going to boom in the next 5 to 10 years. Defense tech, India is very, very strong on this. You will see a big change in defense in the next 3 years from now. Industries, Make in India is going to be booming. So if you want to manufacture something in India today, this is the time. So, fab, electronics, this is just about coming here. And last but not the least, we are, as a country, we still need to go places with research. So deep research and deep tech is something that we need to do. There was a time where, India is, because of its population, a very good service country. We provide great services, whether you see hospitality or you see IT. We are great service people because for us, culturally, we have been taught that Atithi Devo Bhava, right? So we consider God in everybody. So we look at you as God. So we give you the best services. It's in our mindset. It is in our culture. But having said that, Indians know India the best. So look around. There is a need, and that needs has to be researched. And for that research and that need, there can be a deep tech that will come from you, from within you, from the youth. All we need to do is to open our eyes, look around, and see where is the need and what is that research that is going to take. Unfortunately, research, deep tech needs grants, it needs support, it needs consistency, and it needs a mindset. These are the things which are missing as an ecosystem, because it's a consistent long effort of doing continuous research. And because there are surplus jobs, and with superfluous work, you can get these jobs easily. So a lot of people are not getting into research, but I think we are just about getting there. People will get into this very, very soon. I will give you an example, and this is becoming a long answer, but I will still want to give it.
We're loving it, but
see, tuberculosis is a developing country problem. For the past 75 years, all our tuberculosis patients have had the same drug. There has been absolutely no change in the drug because the developed countries are not doing research on this problem. So we need to be doing this, but we are not doing it. What are we researching on? Are developing country issues like IVF. Of course, now we also have issues here, but these are the issues which are the urban problems, which are paid well. So, it gets a lot of value in terms of monetary benefits. And hence, these are the sectors and segments that people start doing a lot of research in, a lot of development, a lot of innovation in. But the old developing country problems like tuberculosis, the drug hasn't changed. So, who's going to do that? We should be doing that as a country because still we have taken a vow. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has taken a vow that by 2030, we as a country are going to be tuberculosis free. Okay. But where is the research? Where are the pharma countries from India that are doing the research?
Right. Wow, this is sheer gold, friends. This is sheer gold. I mean, we just asked for 3, but ma'am have been really kind enough to share so many sectors which we all actually never thought about. Ma'am, this was wonderful, and your answer was a sigh of relief for me at least, because I'm doing something straight from my heart and I am researching on the sector, so my job is safe in this country. So thank you so much for just helping me out on that. Ma'am, if someone is confused in their career, what should be their first step right now?
Okay. So this is a very good question, and a lot of people don't ask this question. But let me tell you, specifically for youth, first and foremost, the first step is to think, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you like to do? Yeah. And the second question is, what is it that you're good at? If you can match the two, fantastic. You are going to have a great life. Because a lot of people are good at something else, but their heart lies somewhere else, right? So I usually say this, that the first step is to go towards what you're good at. Yeah. And start skilling yourself for what you like to do. Because eventually life is so long that you can't keep doing what you're good at. You will always get back to what you really want to do, what your natural calling is.
Ma'am, my personal question I would like to ask, as a corporate trainer, as a leadership coach, I keep getting this question that sometimes what we do and what we like, probably what we like is not a monetary,
The point here is that what you like to do and what you're good at has to be followed by 3 more things. Okay. One is, that is something that the world should need. Because it is only then that you will get value for that.
Yeah.
And last but not the least is that needs to make a difference in someone's life. That's when you will get a purpose. Yeah. So even if you like to do something, even if you like to dance, but if that is not giving a purpose to you, to send a message across with your dance to people and to inspire them, you will not do it for your entire life. So a career is it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Wow.
A career is a long journey. And hence, all these factors, so these 5 factors is what you have to remember. You have to know what you want to do. What is it that you like to do? What is it that you're good at? Right? What is it going to make a difference in someone's life?
Yeah.
Is it something that people need? And last but not the least, is it something that people will pay you for?
Right.
That's why you will get benefit of what you love to do, what you're good at doing. and you're doing all the way.
Wow, ma'am. Actually, I'm very happy because I got to answer one of my question that probably what you like to do, if you could actually add or, you could give an analogy of a purpose to it, probably it would also start paying to it. That is fantastic. I've got one answer for my life though. Yeah, that is beautiful. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, what is the government doing right now for youth jobs that most people generally don't know enough about?
The Apprentice Act, I think Apprentice Act is something that the government is really focused on, and I think the youth needs to utilize that, because on the job training is something that you will not get an exposure to as yet in pure academia. So the academia needs to encourage more and more youth to interact with corporates to ensure that they get into internships, they become apprentices, and they understand and are exposed to what the corporate actually needs. So I personally feel that is one of the programs that youth do not know enough about.
Right.
Of course, there is Kaushal Vikas, which a lot of youth know about that. But still, if you I travel across rural areas, and a lot of people still don't know that there are skill programs going on sector-wise. And these sector-wise skill programs you can attend and very quickly get a job. Youth also do not know that a lot of corporates are spending corporate social responsibility money, CSR money, on skilling. And a lot of not-for-profit organizations are actually taking an effort for inclusivity of these youth into livelihood missions. So there are a lot of programs that youth can take advantage of, and they are not only run by the government, they are run by all the stakeholders of the society. All you need to do is to get up and start participating in it. And today you also have the internet, which gives you access to all these programs. So just get up, do it, make a change.
Yeah. So, friends, support does exist from the government. Only what is missing is the awareness is missing. We've learned a lot of programs from Shweta Shalini, ma'am. I think it's our time to go and do some research about it and take fullest advantage of it. Ma'am, at Inside Corporate Cultures, we heavily talk about cultures at workplaces. So we say that, people don't quit jobs just because of salary. It's also because of, maybe toxic managers or burnout or dignity issues or no respect. And what we feel is right now, even in India, culture is really very underrated. So in your opinion, what creates toxic work culture the fastest?
I think you just said it. I think toxicity comes from the leadership. If your leadership does not give the right kind of value system inside the corporate and inculcates the culture that he exhibits in his daily life. So, for example, it is important for corporates to understand the value of people as people and not just resources. It is important to understand that women will always multitask. It is important for people to not judge whether somebody is doing overtime and someone is more efficient. Now, these are very small little things, but they make the difference. So culture comes in right from the top. So it is driven from the top. Now, the fact of the matter is that if the leader is driven by a purpose, and if it is that purpose that he's able to drive into every single employee, and every single employee starts treating the corporate as their own, where what they do and deliver is going to make a difference in the purpose or in the direction of the entire corporate, it is then that the entire culture is going to be driven by one thought, that is the leadership's thought.
Yeah.
And that's why you feel that whenever there is a disconnect between the top leadership, the middle leadership, and the lower leadership,
Yes.
I don't call it, the lowest strata, but this is where you will see a lot of gaps. So, most to answer your question, I think toxicity, um, starts when there is lack of communication, when there is lack of respect, and last but not the least, the lack of cultural value system, the value that drives the management, the value that drives the leadership, the value that drives the company should drive every single employee, and every single employee should be able to feel that he contributes. एक बचपन में मेरे पिताजी एक कहानी सुनाया करते थे. वो कहते थे कि एक व्यक्ति चल के जा रहा था एंड ही सॉ अ पर्सन, अ मेसन हु वाज डूइंग समथिंग. सो ही सेड कि क्या कर रहे हो? तो बोला कि मैं मिट्टी उठा के इसके अंदर डाल रहा हूँ, रबल बना रहा हूँ. अगली जगह जाता है तो वही कुछ और व्यक्ति कर रहा होता है. तो वो कहता क्या कर रहे हो? सिमिलर. He was doing the similar stuff. But he said, I'm making a wall. The next place that he goes, he asks, what are you doing? So he says, I'm creating an art form because this wall is going to have a beautiful architecture on it. फिर कोई आता है और उससे किसी तीसरे चौथे से पूछता है कि भाई तुम क्या कर रहे हो? वो कह रहा है कि मैं एक ऐसी जगह बना रहा हूँ, एक ऐसा दीवार बना रहा हूँ जो मंदिर का एक पार्ट बनेगा. द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ऑल फोर ऑफ देम इज दैट ऑल फोर ऑफ देम आर ड्रिवन बाय, they are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But they are driven by different purposes. One is just doing masonry. He's just doing a simple mason's work. So he knows that I'm going to come here, do the bricklaying and finish off and go back. The second one is just creating a wall. The third one is creating a beautiful wall. He's also creating a wall, but just a wall. But the fourth one is also creating wall, doing masonry, doing a beautiful wall which will have architecture on it. But that is going to be part of a mandir. And hence, for him, he is doing something which is very, very important. How much ever small he is doing, he is extremely important part of this large purpose, which is creating the temple. And that's what is corporate culture. Every single person has to believe in the mission of what drives the corporate.
Wow.
If that is not there, you will always have toxicity.
That is deep. So, ma'am, you correctly mentioned that toxicity is not about one person, it gets into the system. And truly speaking, today in India, in our nation, we have the right leaders at the right place. And that's why we see our nation growing and reaching to places. And the kind of vision our leaders are carrying at this age, at this era, is what we can see the results out of it. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, next question is for my favorite topic. Those are Gen Zs. You speak a lot with Gen Zs and you've been on the leadership side as well. So your take will be a really balanced answer on both the sides. And I would love to know it. So, ma'am, Gen Z is currently being labeled as lazy. But I feel it's actually a culture clash between the old leadership style and new expectations. What's your take on that?
So, one, I don't believe that Gen Zs are lazy because they are not just hard workers, they are smart workers. They don't believe that long hours is going to do the job. They know that smart work is going to do the job. And what happens is, when I was younger, I have grown up as we call it, the no generation. Every time I walked up to my parents, I knew the answer is going to be no. Right. Because, I was afraid to ask something from my parents because I knew the answer is going to be no.
No.
But this is the yes generation. Thanks to mothers are going to be busy, they are handling too much,
Yes.
they have too much expectation, they have so much to do. So for everything they walked up to and asked their moms or their dads, they said, oh yes, please let me finish this email, but yes, go ahead. You want to see your friends, go ahead. You want to come late, you want to attend a party, you want this, go do it.
Just let me do my stuff. Yeah.
So this is a yes generation. So if they want something, they get it. But they have not learned that life is a struggle. That you have to struggle. We knew that, I will have to struggle my way for my mom to say yes. They have not learned that. And hence, for them, long hours, hard work does not come very easy to them. And that's why for oldies like us, we call them lazy, but they are not lazy. They get their job done in lesser time. They have huge clarity. They have huge focus. What they need to learn, and as an experienced person, I will say this. If everything is good and great, the economy is great, India is doing fantastic, the next 10 years is going to be super fine for India.
I'm sure, yeah.
Then all's going to be well. The problem starts if there are bad times. Bad times, struggles, because they have never seen these in their lives. This is something which they will not be ready for. They are not prepared for. Because they have never seen that struggle. So, people like us from the generation that we come from, we knew that there was no other way but to struggle to come up. We had to make our way through. We need to push our way through. We need to work our way through it. So when everyone else is sleeping, we are studying because we know that we have to be better than the best. We know that there are only 6 IITs. We knew that there are only 4 IIMs, but now there are 21. So you can be smarter about it. I knew that I had only one book to read, only few things to do. But today there are so many tools that can help these people to become more efficient. So I think things are changing. The challenges are also changing now because they have, the problem of plenty. So there are too many tools available, so they don't know which tools to use. There are too many distractions, so they are more distracted than they are more focused. We had no distractions. So yes, I think every generation has their own challenges, and Gen Z has their challenges. But last I would say is that they are lazy. They are just not lazy. They are focused. They are doing some great stuff. I know people who are as early as their 20s. They are billionaires. They are building unicorns. They are giving jobs.
Absolutely.
They are doing fantastic startups.
They are definitely more intelligent than us.
They are traveling. They are all over the Instagram. They are making their bodies healthier, smarter, fitter. So all congratulations to them.
So Gen Z is, if you think everybody is calling you lazy, but there is someone who's definitely supporting you, and not just supporting. I like the root cause analysis that you've done. Whenever I ask this question to everyone, they give me an answer. No, they are smart. They are this, but the root cause analysis that you've done, the analogy, I really loved it. Like, why? Because they've been trained, they've been brought up in a way, and that's why it's something that they've been brought up with.
ऐसा है, मेरे पिताजी हमको कहते थे कि हम लालटेन लेके जाते थे, नदी पार करके हम पढ़ने जाते थे. अब हम ही नहीं जाते तो हम अपने बच्चे को क्या सुनाएं?
राइट.
तो और दूसरा क्या है कि अभी आप अगर सुना भी दोगे कि भैया हमारे घर लाइट नहीं था, हम लालटेन से पढ़ते थे, हम मोमबत्ती जला के पढ़ते थे, तो दैट इज योर प्रॉब्लम. यू वर born poor. They are lucky. They are born rich. So I mean, there's no point in that. We need to look at life from their lens.
Yeah.
And I think they are doing great. They are doing fantastic.
Yes. Ma'am, this reminds me, like you're saying about the tools and accessibilities that they have. In school once, I was told to give an elocution about Vinoba Bhave. And I've been through all the places, and there was no internet as such at that time. I was very small. And I visited all the stores that we had, the stationery stores. Are mujhe wo book de do, wo book de do. Nowhere, some way, it took me 6 to 7 days to learn everything about Vinoba Bhave and give an allocution speech on it. So those were the days, and now it's just like not even internet, it's just chat GPT and the AI and any tools, and you get like history and geography of Vinoba Bhave's grand generations. That is beautiful, ma'am. Ma'am, one question is, what should companies change if they want to retain the youth of today?
Uh, I think what they need to change, or I would rather say that what they need to add, is respect. There is a huge opportunity gap. Uh, there is a lot of glamour today in being an entrepreneur,
Yes.
right? But there are intrapreneurs as well. Within the corporates, there are people who come up with new ideas, new skill sets. So it is important that you need to retain and value the right kind of talent. Give the message. Because there are people who are looking at ensuring and seeing, the younger people are seeing if the management is valuing talent. So you need to retain the best of your people. And the best of the people get retained, as you rightly said, not by salary, but just by opportunity. And by, their achievement of the corporate needs to be felt like their achievement.
Acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement. It is extremely important for a corporate to acknowledge that every individual counts, especially the good people. And I think that's what's most important. Corporates need to know how to retain the best of the people. And whoever retains the best of the people, I'm sure there are a lot of people I know who respect their respective corporates, because
Yes,
there are
absolutely.
fantastic work cultures. They love to do what they do. They love to contribute. They know that they are making a difference. They're leading great teams, and they are doing some phenomenal jobs within those corporates. Ultimately, every entrepreneur is trying to build a dream. If there are no people inside the dream who will follow the same dream as yours, then who's going to work for you? So there need to be people who work for your idea.
Right. You need the right people at the right
Exactly.
place. Yes, surely. Ma'am, we cannot actually not discuss this topic at Inside Corporate Cultures, because it was one of the national debate last year, was about working hours. So we have seen a lot of big leaders commenting on the working hours. Some are like the Gen Zs, the young generation, the leaders. Some are calling us hustling cultures. Some are calling it as mental health. But you have been on the public side as well. There's this constant pressure. What's your take? In other words, I would like to ask you, what do you think is the real productivity? A definition of real productivity.
See, so there are two things and the two ways that I would want to answer this question. Real productivity, to answer your question, is um, a long life of delivery or contribution, which means what? See, I told you, career is a marathon, and you always have to contribute. So for me, the more healthier I am, the more efficient I am, the more I can contribute. And the more number of years I can contribute. Right. So I come into work life or a workplace in my 20s and go on till my 70s. Right. Now, this is like 50 years of work life. And work never ends. I think you should contribute till the time that you are dead. So for you to contribute when you are in your 70s, like our Honorable Prime Minister is doing, because he leads a young nation and he's young, completely young. He's on his feet, he's traveling, he's not taken one day off. 24/7, he is working. And if he's not an inspiration, then who is? Because I'm sure I tell to myself every time that I get up with a headache and try to tell myself that I need to take a day off, I think of him.
Yeah.
Because a 74-year-old man is hustling away because he wants to make my future and my children's future safer, better, and India the next superpower. Then I need to contribute as well.
Yes.
इसमें एक ईंट मेरा भी होना चाहिए. It is on my shoulder that India is going to be the next superpower.
Yes.
Having said that, for me to have such a long contribution of a lifetime, I need to be healthy, so I need to take care of my health. To answer your question, see, working hours. We have really glamorized overtime. Or we have glamorized long working hours. Why should hours matter? It is what you are delivering is what matters. So it is not about working hours. It is about efficiency. It is about productivity. So if you don't take care of your health and if you're mentally stressed and you're sitting for 12 hours or 15 hours or 20 hours, how does that help you or how does that help the corporate? It doesn't.
Yeah.
So ideally, what's most important is you take care of your physical health, your mental health, and contribute more. But having said that, it's very clear. Nothing substitutes hard work. I am here doing multiple things. I'm a mother of 2 boys who are teens. So that is a job that I can't delegate. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a politician, a full-time politician. I travel a lot. I have a home to take care of. I have wife. I'm a wife. I have parents, 2 sets of parents, my own parents, my in-laws. I need to take care of them. So a woman does it all without taking the stress because I know that this is important to me. I prioritize this, all of it. And these are the things that I love to do. And hence it is critical that for me in my career, I have worked extremely hard. So when you were sleeping, I was rigorously working. When you stopped learning, I am still learning. I'm studying. I started out doing law 1 year ago, full-time law. I'm doing full-time law. I'm giving exams and I'm doing fairly well. I'm in my 4th sem and I'm going to complete my
Wow.
law. It's because
That's inspiring.
That's because I know that I'm going to be in public life and public life needs to know the knowledge of law. Law changed from IPC to BNS and I realized that this is the time that I should understand what Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is all about. And hence I got into learning. A lot of people say that women, as you age, they tend to lose,
The
their
zeal,
focus, their memory. You can't memorize things. But today I'm literally memorizing all articles. The entire book of constitutions I'm reading. And I'm loving it. So you need to challenge yourself and for that you need time. So everyone has 24/7. It is how much you love what you do and hence do not give stress to yourself. You should just enjoy what you do. And if you're not enjoying it, don't do it. Do something else. Don't glamorize overworking, overstressing. We should not do that. But what pays is hard work. So you need to work hard, you need to deliver, you need to contribute, and you need to make a difference. Hence, I will not become a part of this debate. Whatever works for whoever is what one should stand up for. Okay. If hard work and working long hours is what works for me, I will do that because I'm happy doing that. I'm not stressed doing that.
Yeah.
But if it does not work for me, I need time with my family, with my children. If I need to go to the gym for an hour, I need to meditate. If I need to sleep, I better do that because, life is long. I need to contribute for 70 long years. And we need to understand this. Because contributing is more important. If I'm gone, who's going to contribute in my family? Who's going to look after my children?
True. That's a powerful definition. And as I wanted to add up when you mentioned that our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi itself, Modi ji itself, when he travels, he's just there on the flights for 4 hours and then coming from countries. That's exactly how you think is what I think when I go for corporate trainings, like in Mumbai, outside Mumbai. And when I'm back and I want to take a break, and that's when even I think the same. Like our Prime Minister is just traveling to places and then back and attending meeting. I still remember the ISRO meeting when he was back from some summit and he was directly there meeting the scientists, and I just feel that he's an inspiration.
Because it matters to him.
Yeah.
Because he knew that Chandrayaan was competing against different countries. We were competing against Russia.
Yeah.
And it mattered to him that we need to be the first.
Right.
And hence, if it matters to you, it will not feel like work.
Yeah.
And if it feels like work, then don't do it.
Yeah, and then we have got the results. What a leader. I mean, I still remember the hug that he had from the scientist, and that's what he was just waiting for, to hug Narendra Modi ji and just cry it out.
Isn't that what leaders are for?
Exactly.
True leaders will have empathy. True. They will understand that you've given your best.
Yeah.
You've done your best. You've tried your best.
Yeah.
Because your success is my success. Your failure is my failure. And it's the country's failure. If we are in it together, if COVID has not taught us everything, it has just taught us one thing, that one thing is that we are never in it alone. We cannot say that you have COVID and I'll be safe. Yeah. We are all in this together. And our forefathers just knew it. That's why they said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The entire world is a family. And hence, we need to treat them like one. And so are your workers, so are your people, so are your employees. They are your family. Treat them like your own kids.
Amazing, amazing. So, ma'am, one question a lot of youths have this in their mind. If they have an idea, if they've started a business, but they have no money, what is the first step that they can do?
So, I'll tell you what. Entrepreneurship does not need money. What you need is network. Your network is your net worth. And there is a reason why they say this. A lot of people, or especially entrepreneurs today, are celebrating funding. Because, they feel that, and if you turn around the magazines, you'll find that so-and-so got fund from so-and-so.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of news items like this. But ideally, funding is the first step. It is validating your idea, that it is worth funding. But ideally, it is the first step, because sales is the most important thing. And I always say this, that your customer is your best investor, because he's believed not only in you, but he's believed in your idea. He's believed in your product. So when you do not have money, then your customer needs to fund you with your first order. That is the easiest thing to do for an entrepreneur. Having said that, a lot of things today need manufacturing, research, a lot of seed investment, as they call it.
Yeah.
And that's where the government pitches in. There are grants which are available today in every sector. If you actually look at IITs today, IITs have incubation centers. If I talk about Maharashtra, we have 56 incubation centers, all giving seed money or grant money to the tune of 50 lakh rupees each.
Oh.
In these incubation centers, and there are 56 of them. So we have a skill university that has, out of these 56, has about 28 such incubation centers. Now, it is important that you create this network. Now, incubation also, entrepreneurs only look at for the money. But it is the network and the ecosystem that you will get in the incubator that you should look at an incubator. It's not the grants, it's not the money, it is the network that you get of mentors, of your first customer, of your first advisor, your advisory board. All of this is important. And more important, you might just get a co-founder there. You can get somebody who is slightly ahead of your curve in the same segment that you are working on.
Yeah.
And that's when you need to come together to ensure that you can make a faster impact, a quicker impact.
Yeah.
And that's what is critical. So I will again say that for somebody who doesn't have the money but has the idea and the zeal to create the idea into execution and implement it, one, he needs to look for a network or a ecosystem where he can fit himself in, and money will flow by. Because lot of Indians today are trying to invest in new ideas. There are SMEs who do not have the time to research and innovate. So they are looking for newer ideas. I know a lot of family offices who are looking for newer ideas, newer platforms where they can invest their money and the next generation can actually pick that up. They have the money. There are a lot of funds, PE funds, who are looking for entrepreneurs who have these newer ideas. But the key here is to ensure that you have an implementable and executionable idea that a consumer or a customer is ready to fund or buy or invest in you. If he invests in your product, if he invests in you, that is the best money that you can get forward, because that is validation at the best of the level.
Okay, fantastic. So, youths, the newer entrepreneurs, if you're looking for something, as ma'am said, network is net worth. So, do a lot of networking, and probably you might find your co-founder, maybe someone who would ready to fund you, be your mentor, and so on and so forth. That was beautiful. Yeah, ma'am, one thing I really, really love about you, I respect you, is the way you support women. And not only support, the way you mentor for the women entrepreneurship and everything. And you have been living a women entrepreneur, women public life by yourself. So I just want to know, what's the biggest barrier for a women entrepreneur?
No, there are a lot of barriers for women as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as employees, as change makers. So there are a lot of barriers, but barriers are given to people who can break those barriers. Right. So women can break these barriers very, very easily. And also, it is important for us to understand why there are so many barriers for women, because in the workplace itself or in the pool of resources itself, women are less.
Absolutely.
So one and the most important thing is to increase the number of participative women in the workforce. So when women start contributing more, when they want to step out and start joining the workforce, that's when the rest of the barriers, we can talk about the glass ceiling, the glass top, the whatever barriers, challenges, leadership challenges, and so on and so forth. Coming to your question of entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs are most often than not scared. And entrepreneurship starts from here. Okay. And it is the fear of not succeeding, the fear of maybe prioritizing career over children, over family.
Guilt.
It is the fear of people making you guilty.
Yeah.
It is the fear of not being successful enough. It is the fear of not asking money. It is the fear of devaluing yourself and not understanding that you can ask for your worth. It is the fear of not being worthy. And hence, entrepreneurship, the first step to entrepreneurship is fearlessness. So, for women and women entrepreneurs, one of the biggest barriers is to break out of these fears. If you actually look at it, forget entrepreneurship. Do you know how many women are gynecologists? 80% of women doctors are either gynecologists or pediatricians.
Yeah.
You know how many of them are surgeons? Surgeons. How many of them are orthopedic surgeons? Just about 4%. And the key here is not about these statistics or numbers. The idea is that women, if they can sew, if they can use the needle, they can do these cross stitches,
Yeah.
then they can be fantastic at being surgeons.
Yeah.
So, why are women scared to be surgeons? They shouldn't be. These are barriers here. And women need to break these barriers themselves. There are many, many places. Now, we give lomba statistics on the fact that women are not there on certain tables, they are not there on boardrooms,
Yeah,
they are not there in
absolutely.
as leadership. Women participation is less in leadership roles.
Absolutely.
In places where policy matters, women are not there. Tell me one simple thing. Data on what a woman needs is missing. Nearly 40% women are driving today, but is the car seat being designed for a woman or woman's body? My hip to knee ratio is very different from what the car seat is designed for. So, if I have a frontal accident in a car, there are 98% chances that a woman, if she's driving, is going to be dead.
Oh.
Because neither is the car seat nor the airbag designed for your body type. And aren't women buying cars? But when they buy cars, they give these forms to be filled to the husband. So it is never ticked up. When a woman buys a car, it is the family car, it's not her car. When a husband buys a car, it is
It's
his
his
car.
car.
So these are things which are important
Yeah.
to understand, that we need to have the right kind of data sets. And the right kind of data sets for women entrepreneurs is that there are very few women entrepreneurs who are diving into deep tech. There are very few women entrepreneurs who are doing things uh, in pharma research. And there are very few women who are sitting on funding boards, PE boards. The women entrepreneurs, maximum number of women startups, you know where they are listed? In Uttar Pradesh and in Gujarat.
Oh.
The maximum number of women startups. And it only tells you that it is the men of the house who have listed the companies in their wives or their sisters or their mothers' names.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Right.
But it is because women allow, I always say this and I'm going to end with this,
Yes.
that it's a man's world because a woman has allowed it to be.
Yeah, correct. So this you also answered my question, which was about why we have 50, we have population is 50% is women. Why don't we have 50% in leadership? Because you rightly mentioned the barriers are being set by women themselves. And the moment you ended, so I have actually made a note of this. So as I told you, this is a proof that I follow you on all your platforms. So I was recently seeing one of your LinkedIn posts and I genuinely loved it. The way you mentioned that politics is a boys' club, not because men want it to be, but because women allow it to be. This line got me awestruck. I mean, this is bold, this is uncomfortable, but this is true. And I was really awestruck. I loved this line, ma'am. Could you throw some light? I mean, I know you've spoken a lot about it, but this line was amazing.
Yes, so I will add to it. I said that politics is an old boys' club, right? Because, see, politics is about, so it's very simple to say, even people in politics, now that I'm in politics, people inside of politics, they say, oh, it's a bad space to be in. Oh, politics is bad. Who's making it bad? We are the ones making it bad. So, my mentor, Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, said something very interesting and I loved it. He says that if good people do not enter a space, the bad people will stay.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that our country is such, the whole democratic setup is such, that it's easier for the good people to actually stay out of the chaos and say, oh, we don't want to get into this. But if you do not get into this, this is our country, these are our policies, these are our schemes. So someone has to do the dirty job, and we need to be thankful for the people who are doing the dirty job. Now, politics is three things. Politics is perception. Politics is long, dedicated hours of thankless job. And politics is people. It's a people, I will not use the word people-pleasing job, but it is of how popular you are among people. So you need to understand the nerve of the people. For that, you need to be consistently between them. Now, for a woman who has to take care of two households, parents, kids, herself, you think a woman can give long hours? You think she can be available at 11 o'clock in the night? You think she is going to be, because she has to make the lunch and the dinner at home. She has to be available for PTA meetings. She has to be available when the kid is not well. She has to be available when her father needs her, when her mother is not, mother is going to go to the hospital. And she's doing what the society needs the most. So it is important for men to make way, for women to step in, because politics is a game of representation.
Yeah.
You have to represent 50% of the population. You need to know how they think. You need to know and understand what they need. And nobody knows women's needs better than women themselves. So it is important for men to make way for women.
Yeah.
But also, it is important for women to understand that when you need to play chess, you have to follow the rules of chess. You cannot follow the rule of football.
Yeah.
So a game has its rules. And you need to learn the rules. You can't say, oh, I don't know how to play chess, and come and play chess. You'll have to learn to play chess.
Yeah. Right.
So for women who want to enter politics, they need to skill themselves, they need to give time, they need to be consistent, they need to have a purpose which is driven by people's needs. And hence, they need to take an effort to, even if the way is made, then walk through it, which is going to be difficult, and nobody makes way.
Yeah.
So you have to make your own way.
Right.
And that is why I said it, that it's an old boys' club.
Yeah.
Where women are extremely uncomfortable, and the boys, though they want more women, they don't know how to do it because they don't know how to make way.
Right.
एक कुर्सी है और कुर्सी खाली नहीं रह सकती है. And there are just too many men who want to sit on it anyway. They don't want to make way and say, nobody will make way and get up and say, कि आओ तुम कुर्सी पे बैठो.
Yeah.
And that's why things like reservations really matter. I'm totally against reservations, especially reservations based on gender and religion. But representation is very, very critical. And that's exactly what Baba Sahib Ambedkar said in his constitution, that the unrepresented needs to be represented. And today, the most underprivileged lot is the women. I firmly believe that. The most unrepresented lot is the women. I firmly believe that. Because men cannot represent women's needs. They cannot represent. and understand what women really stands up for. And it is for women to take the baton in their hands, and it is for the system to make way for them.
Brilliant. I super loved this answer, and this was my favorite question. And I think my team knows I was discussing this question with them that I'm just looking forward because that's my favorite question in this entire lot. It's wonderful. Ma'am, right now, the youths in the cities, they think that there is the city and the corporates and the rural kids. They have no relation to each other. But I feel we from the cities have a lot to learn from the rural areas as well. And you have like closely worked with that entrepreneurship ecosystem of the rural development. I want you to share one thing that us as like people from urban areas, cities, needs to learn from the traditional businesses, the rural side, and let the youths know that we have a lot to learn from them as well.
See, what is the rural side of India? It is the root of India.
Yeah.
This is where Bharat
Agree.
lies. And if you actually go to the villages today, you will still find what our parents talk about, what your grandparents talk about, the value system. You don't have to, I don't have to really ask for food. There are, if you go to a village, there'll be 20 hutments, and people from these huts, they will come and offer you food.
Yeah.
Whatever they eat, and it
Right.
is served with so much love. I think that is missing. In urban areas, do you know who your neighbor is? I know a society where a neighbor died and his body was not recovered for 5 days. Now, this is what we are missing. We are missing that we are all connected to each other. Our energies, if they come together, is what is going to transform the country. And hence, for urban youth to travel to rural areas will give them three kinds of exposures. They will understand what is efficiency, because when scarcity comes,
Yeah.
that's when innovation starts. So, necessity is the mother of invention. So, you need to go and study. I know this entrepreneur from IIT Kanpur who made a industrial uh, dishwasher. And when he was asked why he made this dishwasher, he practically said two things. He said, my mother was a house help. So when she would go to individual houses, she she got less money. But when she would go to these marriage halls, there was too much of utensils, she would get a lot of money. But she had to spend long hours. So long hour, what does long hours means? She was spending hours and hours just washing those utensils in those marriage events. So today, and that's how she made me an engineer. That's how she taught me in IIT. And today, I have made a washing machine for her and for women like her. Now, this is what I mean when I say purpose.
Purpose.
This
Absolutely.
this is what you will get when you travel to the rural areas. What you will get is dignity of labor, dignity of person can be poor, he can have less resources, but an urban youth, when he travels to the rural areas, he will realize what dignity is all about. Today, under Manrega, a lot of people are making or beautifying their own villages. So, if you go to these Adarsh villages, Adarsh Gaon as we call it, you will find that people come together collectively. And it is this collectivism that gives a direction to the entire village. Now, these are a lot of things that is completely missing in the urban areas today. We are going from collectivism to individualism, and India does not follow either individualism or collectivism. These are westernized concepts. I always say that India always talks about your own personal journey. It's my personal journey towards me and my Paramatma. And collectivism We have always believed in family life, family ties. But the families are getting smaller. People are getting more and more individualistic. Now people want to get married late. People don't want to have children in urban areas. And somewhere they are forgetting this collective energy. And that's what I feel the rural India, the Bharat really offers till now. So go back if you want to go back to your roots, if you want to go back to originality, if you want to go back to what Bharat really stands for, go back to the rural India.
Yeah.
And for everyone else, especially entrepreneurs, I always say this, go back to Bharat if you want to realize where the next opportunity lies. Because that's where the market is, that's where the people are, that's where the next revolution is going to
Happen. I totally agree. I think all of us should actually start visiting the rural areas to understand, to have a new business idea. And I would like to share one incident. Lately, I was talking to someone and they said that, and I was telling them I live with my in laws, and they're like, oh, joint family. I'm like, no, I'm staying with my in laws. They are my parents. So it is not a joint family. So that's how we have grown and westernized right now, that when you stay with your own in laws or parents, people call it as a joint family. I don't
We
understand.
had such a great system, I tell you, that, the grandparents were busy with the grandchildren.
Kids, yeah.
And they had this purpose when they were old that, I need to ensure that my grandchildren get the values. And the parents, they were quite relieved because they didn't have to do that job, and the children growing up
Ah,
without them even knowing.
yeah.
And hence, it was such a good culture. It is such a good culture. The only thing is, in our country, we traditionally have been extremely tolerant, and we just need to remain so. I think Hinduism
Yeah.
is a synonym of tolerance. We just have to adapt. We just have to accept and move on. I think that's what is now missing in the urban youth.
We have to go back to our basics. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, ma'am, global politics right now, people feel that it's a faraway talk and we don't have to discuss about it. But the tariffs and the trade wars and the US elections, we've seen what all has happened with our nation. And I super loved our leaders taking the stance in this situation. And it's something that we can learn of. So, I want to ask from you, do global changes like Trump era policies affect Indian jobs or Indian markets in any way?
See, all of us Indians need to understand what India stands for and what the leadership today, especially Shri Narendra Modi ji, is wanting India to be. India is proving to be a leader without coercion. We don't want any alignment. We are our individual leader. We, we are going for multi alignment. We will stand with you and we will stand with you too. Between Russia and Ukraine, we do not want to take sides because we don't believe in it. We know that we support both of them. You need to sort out between them, and we do not support war. So, India has been able to give a new format of leadership to the world, and that is what Indians should understand, that we are not going to be led, we are going to lead. And that is what Indians should be proud of. Having said that, if you actually look at the mother of all deals that we did with Europe, or, and that's why you see the French president is right here. We are doing, we have been able to crack almost about 40% of Rafale deals to be made in India. The idea here is to ensure that India wins each time and every time, especially as far as the United States of America is concerned. See, we have been able to convince not only the globe, but also the important Indians in the USA that India stands for a thought. We are not going to be driven by uh, bullying. We are not going to fear somebody looking us down. We stuck to what we stood for. And hence, now you see the tariffs have come down to 18%.
Yeah, we have proved it.
And the idea here is that India already was importing a lot from the United States of America, and it is important for us to maintain that relationship. We have a whole lot of Indians doing a lot of things and contributing a lot in America and with America. So, and America has been a great friend, a good partner for all these 75 long years. And I personally feel that our leadership has created a model of what leadership should look like. Because eventually it is important that we stand up for the cause that we believe in. And that's exactly what Shri Narendra Modi ji did. And that's why you see Trump coming down, the tariffs coming down, and the relationship again maturing to the level that it was.
So, ma'am, now we see everyone is talking about AI. We've been talking about AI, and there's a lot of threat amongst the youngsters about AI. I don't want to talk about the typical question that everybody asks, that what we should do. I just want an answer for our brothers and sisters in the traditional business. Is there any support from the government that is coming so that they know the measures? How do we actually bring in AI in our traditional businesses and improvise? Because probably they know the importance of it. They know that we have to change, but they don't know how to do it.
So, interestingly, in the AI summit, if you actually look at the kind of work that India is doing on AI, you will realize that a lot of work has been done for AI and inclusivity together. What does that mean? It means that if you look at the homegrown sovereign models that we are working on is extremely use case based on what India actually needs. A lot of India works in vernacular languages. So one of the most important things that is happening is Indian language models, so that people can talk and interact with AI in the language that they understand. So a lot of work is being done to take AI to you vis-a-vis the models at a foundational level, so that common people can interact with AI in the way that they want to. Right? They would interact with a teacher, or they would interact with any kind of technology. Right? The second and the most important thing is to understand use cases. Usability. Yeah. Now, that is also the sovereign models that we are working on. Okay. So, now, for example, what exactly is UPI? Interestingly, UPI, the rural areas adopted UPI faster than the urban areas. Right, thanks to BharatNet and internet accessibility across the country, the rollout was extremely smooth. Yeah. Now, when I talk about UPI, I always tell them that it was a public experiment, which India has been successful in giving out to the world or rolling out to the world as an example. Because it is a public rail where the people come as stakeholders. So I am getting, it is open. Now, if you actually look at it, the same is happening as far as ONDC is concerned as digital platforms. So open rails, public rails, where people can come as stakeholders, and then the government takes this initiative. In a very similar way, Jan Arogya Mission, data mission, all these missions are missions which are open, where people will come as stakeholders. Okay. AI. Now, there are two things that I will talk about here. One is this initiative called AI for Her, where AI training is being given to women, because if women are trained, then the entire family is trained. So AI for Her is a mission that ensures that women get trained on AI, so that they understand that AI does not challenge them, it helps them. and how it can help them, and what they need to be careful about when they share their data or their phones with their children. So security, privacy is taught to them on a basis where it can go to the grassroots, or it is going to the grassroots. Exactly in the same way, there is a friend of mine who's working on something called as Jan AI. Now, what is Jan AI? It means that every single person, until he's trained on AI, he is not able to contribute. So you don't have to be uh, users of technology. You need to be masters of technology. You don't need to serve technology. You don't need to be just data. You need to know that the technology is for you to use, and for you to use on your daily life to ensure that you get the value, you get the money, you get the advantage, you get the opportunity, and you get the lead that technology can offer to you.
Beautiful. So, people, friends, we have a lot of initiatives from the government. We think that, everybody just keeps on saying that you have to upgrade, upskill, and we don't have any help. But definitely today we've got the clarity from Shweta Shalini ma'am that we do have a lot of initiatives which is taken by government. So, ma'am, this AI for her, if any women wants to enroll for it, what's the
Just
way
go look, Google search AI for her,
Okay.
and you will find a program happening right next to you, and just enroll for that program.
Oh, wow. So every women, mother, sisters, everyone, this is a brand new good news from you. So I've got something really useful for you today. So go ahead and enroll now. I'm going to do it for my mother and everyone. That was a good piece of information. So, ma'am, I started this interview by saying that, I love the charismatic personality you have and how real and how clear you are with your thought process. Now, I want one quick advice from you, myself, and for the audiences that on speaking habit, you really come out like a very powerful person. One quick tip that, all of us can also use and look as powerful as you are. Not just powerful, but real.
In life and in public speaking, the trick is in the pause and in the full stop. You need to know when to pause and when to stop. Whether it's an argument, whether it is streamlining your thought, whether it is articulation, you need to pause at the right places. And that's true for life as well. You need to pause and look, am I in the right direction? Am I going in the right phase? Why am I feeling like this? Am I reacting in the right manner? Is this really happening to me? When you're in your highest high, realize that lows are not very far. And when you're in the deepest lows, you need to realize that tomorrow is going to be a new day. The sun is going to shine again. And hence, you need to know when to take that pause, when to stop. That means just stop the argument, stop the thought, stop from overthinking. So, speech delivery, it's very, very important that while you're speaking, the only way to be articulate is to take that pause to understand if you're going in the right direction and to stop by not just going on and on, because people need to get that message. Having said that, yes, it is important to have the right kind of content. It is important to read a lot. It is important to understand what you are asking from me. What is it that you want to hear? And the most important thing of it all, the most powerful speakers are the best listeners.
Yes,
If I
totally
don't
agree.
listen to you, then I will not be able to speak your language. If I want to speak what you will hear, I need to hear what you speak.
Absolutely. And one thing that I have learned from you today, probably you would not say or appreciate yourself, but one thing is about the clarity that you have on everything. It's not just about answering question, but what I realized, the root cause analysis, the depth, the knowledge that you carry, the insights that you carry. And I'm super impressed and amazed by that too. And I feel that that is how I would like to imbibe from you from today on. And while I'm speaking something, I will ensure that I have more than 100% knowledge about it and the clarity about it. So that's something that I'm taking away
So,
from you today.
Swati ji, I'll tell you. A lot of people ask me this in politics, and I always say this, that I always know what I will not do. I'm very clear. What I will do, I will realize, I will find out, I will explore, I will experiment. But I know where my boundaries are. I will not do certain things. And what you don't do is defined by a lot of things. It is defined by your belief system, your bringing up values, your parenting methodologies that your parents have brought you up with, the background that you come from, the exposure that you've had, the experiences that you've had. And all of that just imbibes into things that you will not do. These are your boxes. These boxes are in your mind. Sometimes it is important to break those boxes. And most often than not, in your thought process, in your ideation process, you need to break those barriers by yourself. So the most important thing is you should know what I will not do. And then decide on, okay, what are the things that I will try? I will experiment. Maybe I can try to break those barriers of things that I will not do and even try those things, experiment with those things. And that's why life, this is one life you have. So live it to the fullest because that's all that matters. Make it count.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful message. One last question. I'm so sorry. One cute message for the Gen Alphas. After Gen Zs, we have our new Gen Alpha coming in. I would want them to know and, take some takeaway from you right at this age. Probably they would remember this forever in their life. So for the cute Gen Alphas, one cute message.
See, I think we are, especially the Gen Alpha, is in a phase of social interaction overload. And they need to look at what it means really. Because psychologically, there is so much of inflow of information that they have. The problem is of abundance. It is an overload. So whether it is just too many influencers trying to influence you, too many advices pouring on you, too many options, too many opportunities, too much to do. Yeah. But the fact is, it's one life you have. It is one step you take. It is 1 hour at a time. It is that one decision that really matters. एक गाना बजता है और पूरा देश खड़ा हो जाता है कि नहीं खड़ा हो जाता है. जब एक छोटा सा तारा होता है लेकिन इतने बड़े जहाज को रास्ता दिखाता है कि नहीं दिखाता है. हमारे राजनीति में कहा जाता है कि every vote matters, every person matters. It is this one decision, one vote, one thought that can make the difference in your entire life. And life is long. So don't get overwhelmed with this overload, because then that is something that really constrains you in your boundaries. And hence, give yourself a chance. Look outside. People have stopped playing outside. People have stopped making friends. People are not interacting. People are not going for meetups. People don't want to. Gen Alpha doesn't want to move out of their homes and meet more people. They don't want to intermingle. And hence, if you actually look at the Gen Zs, work from home is a concept which is becoming very popular. So the Gen Alpha is actually seeing their parents at home. So you need to understand that man is a social animal, and this social is not the social media that we are talking about. We need to interact, we need to exchange energies. And I think this is the energy that we get from outside, from nature, from meeting people, that makes us human. It is the storytelling that makes us human. These stories you have to create on your own through experiences, through exposure, through people, through interactions. And that's what they need to do. This is the time to learn. So, learn not from social interaction overload, but learn from meeting people, having the experience, exposing yourself, play your heart out, develop your skill set, but more importantly, learn. This is your time. And India is going to be the best place to stay for Gen Alphas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And they are going to see an India that we are creating at this point of time. So be proud of the fact that your parents are contributing for what you will get. Let's be thankful, have the gratitude.
That requires a big clap. That is an amazing answer.
Thank you.
Amazing,
Thank you.
amazing. Yeah. That was lovely, ma'am. And I think I have taken a lot of your time. But before we go, we have a very fun segment because we've all seen you taking bigger decisions and powerful decisions, working on policies. But now we would love to see your fun side if you may allow. Like small, easy questions. So we don't have to think, no diplomacy, just what's there in your heart. And yeah, here I go if you may allow.
Yes.
Yeah. So, ma'am, tea or coffee?
Tea early in the morning, coffee during the day.
Okay.
That too black.
Early morning person or late night thinker?
Absolutely early morning person. I get up very early and sleep late.
Oh. Home cooked food or outside street food?
Oh, absolutely home cooked, simple food. I'm a vegetarian, don't even eat egg. So completely home cooked food. And my favorite is khichdi. So I can eat khichdi 30 days in a month.
I love dal khichdi too. Instagram reels or real life piece?
Real life peace. I would love to meet people, interact with people. I can keep my phone turned down. It's always on vibration mode. You have to tell people that switch off your phone. My phone is always switched off. I always say this, and I'm sorry to take this time, but I say this, that phone is something for me to reach out to you. I'm not free all the time. So it's not that you can reach me whenever you want to. So yes, it's unfortunate, but peace all the
What
way.
we say, right? My life, my rule, my attitude.
No, it doesn't work in politics because we are for people and, they need to reach out to us. We need to reach out to them. So I understand that. But it is peace. I mean, I love my peace and I think I get that by chanting, by meditating, by doing my own puja rituals. And I think that way I'm quite sane. I know where my priority lies.
Okay, that's great. Shopping mall or sabzi mandi bargaining?
Oh, Sabzi Mandi. Anyways, I'm a true middle class and that way I will go to Sabzi Mandi. I love the smell, the bargaining, I always say this, that when you go to foreign countries, you will see that for simple calculation, and in fact the Gen Alphas of today use the calculator. The Thai in the Sabzi Mandi will do it faster, and I guarantee you that she is sharper. You will forget that aapne kiska pav liya hai, kiska adha kilo liya hai. She remembers that, and she'll do it on her.
Sometimes I think, how can they do that? Yeah?
Because Indians are sharp. We have great genes, and it's right there in the Sabzi Mandi. So go to the Sabzi Mandi, guys, if you want to really smell what true India looks like.
So women, if she can do it, if ma'am can do it, so you can also do it. So stop Blinkit, Zepto, and we need to go to Sabzi Mandi. Ma'am, books or Netflix?
Absolutely books when it comes to in-depth analysis, understanding different perspectives. But Netflix when I want to wind down. So there is nothing on Netflix that I wouldn't have seen.
Oh, great. Mountains or beach?
I'm a beach person, 100% beaches.
Election rally or Indian wedding barat?
No, absolutely not tricky. 100% election rallies. I can't take the barats.
Breaking news or breaking diet?
No, I don't believe in breaking diet. Life is about consistency and lifestyle changes. So, 100% breaking news.
Press conference or family WhatsApp group?
No WhatsApp groups, including society WhatsApp groups. They are horrible. Family, you can't get out because, you have the mothers and the aunts, and they are adorable. They just don't know what to forward. So they just forward everything and
Good morning
anything.
messages.
Good morning messages and good night messages. And I have some wonderful shires in my family who keep just forwarding shairis, but yes, I think they are fabulous. It's just great way to keep connected.
Ma'am, now one word questions. One word for election season.
Busy, hectic.
One word for Indian youth today.
Um, Confused but curious.
Politician superpower you wish you had.
Politician superpower that I wish I had. Oh no. So, I just want, like Sushma ji, I want politicians to wear more color. And that's what I feel that women add in politics, color. So, politicians who only wear white,
Yeah.
I love it when Sri Narendra Modi ji spots these wonderful, colorful jackets because that's what India is all about. We are about color. We are about celebration.
And they look
We are
so
about
designer.
textiles. Yeah, absolutely. So it's so amazing.
Yeah.
So I personally feel the superpower is to add color to the world of politics.
One thing you love about Maharashtra the most?
I love that Maharashtrians are great people. They accept everything. They are extremely tolerant. I belong to Ayodhya and I know that Ram Mandir के बनने में सबसे बड़ा योगदान यदि किसी का था तो वो महाराष्ट्रियंस का था. सबसे ज़्यादा कार सेवक्स महाराष्ट्र के थे और इसीलिए आई फील दैट यदि किसी ने धर्म को, ये संतों की भूमि है, यदि किसी ने धर्म को ध्वज की तरह अपने घर में गर्व से सजा के रखा है तो वो महाराष्ट्र है.
Wow, Jai Maharashtra.
Absolutely, Jai Maharashtra.
If you weren't in last one, if you weren't in politics, what would you be doing today?
If I wouldn't be in politics, I think I would be a social entrepreneur. I would be creating a social enterprise where people would be the biggest stakeholders. And I think that's exactly what I'm here to do in politics as well. I'm going to be a complete social change maker in politics. That's why I'm here.
Wow. I think the fun side of ma'am was also as great as the serious side, and I super enjoyed it. And I think so did you enjoy it. And so now let's go to the last part of our podcast, which is my favorite part. That's called as Sutra Moment. So I have this incorporated in our podcast. So because what happens is people forget long speeches, they forget long interviews, they even forget the headlines. But what they remember is one powerful line, one sutra, one timeless sutra that whenever they need it in terms of their personal life or professional life, they just remember it and they can actually use it. And once you have mentioned your sutra, we have it documented in something that I call it as Sutrapedia.
Oh, wow.
So it's a document where we archive all the sutras from all the beautiful leaders they've been coming and sharing with us, so that whenever people are in need, they would revisit it and probably would be helpful in their lives.
So you want to know my sutra in life?
Yeah, sutra.
So my sutra in life is very simple. B, C, D, A, B, C, D, you have learned very early in life. So between B and D, which is birth and death, is C, which is choice. So your life between birth and death is defined by the most important thing, which is C, the choice. And I always say this, that if you have a choice, choose courage over comfort. These are the 3 C's which are very, very important in life. One is choice, and the other two C's, which is extremely important, is choosing, courage in everything that you do over the comfort. It's very easy to be comfortable at home, but an entrepreneur is truly somebody who says, no, I will fight this out. Whether I have the money or I don't, I will still fight it out. For women, it is very easy to relax at home, see television, enjoy the series, see Netflix, and enjoy their husbands working. But no, they choose to be uncomfortable. They choose courage to step out, to manage multiple things. It's very easy to say that my parents will be looked after by only by my brother.
Yeah.
But girls today are looking after their parents equally as their own brother, because they know that they can take care of two sets of parents, their in-laws and their parents and her parents. So it is about the choice that you make in life, and make this C between the B and D count.
Wow.
That's most important thing.
This is beautiful, and I think these are the timeless sutras, because it's not those big motivation line that we need, ma'am. These are these beautiful sutras that we remember forever, and that's what Inside Corporate Culture is all about. And I don't give a thought. This is straight away going to our Sutrapedia, and all the youth people do remember this, note it down, because this is going to help you in your life and solve a lot of your confusions. And ma'am, it would be great if you could just pen down this sutra in our Sutrapedia.
So, my young entrepreneurs, Gen Zs, investors, whosoever is starting new, please follow Shweta Shalini, ma'am, if you are not already doing it, because she is the one who is not just inspiring us, but in actual sense taking our country forward. So it's, as I promised you, and now you come to know why I was so excited for this episode. And I don't know what to say. It was not just about politics and geopolitics, but we've learned a lot about life, about solving our confusions. I think right from millennials to entrepreneurs to young Gen Z and Gen Alphas have learned a lot from you, including me. So thank you so much. And before we leave, one last word for our initiative of Inside Corporate Cultures. What would you like to say in our experience and something for us?
Thank you, Swati. Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you for doing what you're doing, because what's most important is, and I'm sure a lot of people have spoken with this, I don't think I would have been able to answer these questions if these questions weren't down there. I have attended so many podcasts, and these questions have been well researched. That only tells me that you know what you do with the whole of your heart. So, congratulations, because that's the first step of getting your success right. Also, you have an excellent name, Inside Corporate Cultures, because a lot of people are talking about corporates, but we are not talking about corporate cultures.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people in India are talking about culture, but they are not trying to imbibe the Indian culture into the corporate Indian culture. So you've got it absolutely bang on. The key of getting it right is in eating the pie, is the implementation. So I just hope that more and more corporates understand the value that Inside Corporate Cultures provides to them. More and more people connect to you, and more people listen to where you or what you have to offer. And that, I'm sure, will make all the difference to you and them. So all the very best. May your workplaces, may more and more people and lives be affected by what you're doing. And may you succeed in what you thought that your success means to you.
Yeah.
So all the very best. Thank you so much for following me. Thank you so much for inviting me here. And thank you so much for these wonderful questions. I know that you have young daughter, and I'm sure one day she's going to be extremely proud of Victoria, and she will follow you exactly in the awe that you are today sitting in. So all the way best to you. You have to keep up for her. You have to do this for her and
for the Indian value systems that you are getting away to profit. So nice. Thank you so much. Two things I want to tell to audience that there are lots of leaders, but Shweta Shalini, when she says she told me this, she starts the women empowerment. She's on the way come here from like the South Mumbai just to do a podcast to me, and again she's moved for another meeting there. And when she says, she means it, and I have experienced it. And I think you are a true leader that all sense. Actually, thank you so much for being here. Thanks, so teaching.